In the year 2165, humanity's reach had extended far beyond the solar system, scattering like dandelion seeds across the stars. The Earth, now an almost forgotten cradle, lay in the annals of history. The most ambitious of these ventures was the establishment of the last colony on Proxima B, a harsh yet promising exoplanet in the Alpha Centauri system. Dr. Elysia Morgan, the colony's lead xenobiologist, stood in the observation deck of the settlement's central dome, her eyes tracing the jagged horizon of Proxima B. The twin suns, Alpha Centauri A and B, cast an eerie twilight, a perpetual dusk that never truly surrendered to night. The crimson-hued landscape, dotted with bizarre flora and rocky outcrops, seemed to pulsate with a life of its own. Elysia's thoughts drifted back to Earth, to the verdant forests and azure ocean she had left behind. She had been one of the select few chosen for this mission, her expertise in extraterrestrial biology deemed invaluable. The weight of this responsibility bore heavily on her, but it was a burden she embraced. The colony's survival depended on her ability to understand and adapt to this alien world. Her reverie was interrupted by the soft chime of her wrist communicator. She glanced down at the device, seeing a message from Dr. Thomas Reeves, the chief engineer. "Elysia, we need you in the lab. There's been a development." She sighed, tucking a stray lock of auburn hair behind her ear. The colony's challenges were ceaseless, each day bringing new puzzles to solve. She made her way through the labyrinthine corridors of the dome, her footsteps echoing softly in the sterile environment. The lab was a hive of activity. Scientists and engineers huddled over various consoles and workstations. Thomas, a tall man with a perpetually furrowed brow, looked up as she entered. "Elysia, we found something." He led her to a containment chamber where a strange crystalline structure lay suspended in a field of energy. It pulsed with a faint, otherworldly glow, casting intricate patterns of light on the walls. Elysia's eyes widened in awe. "Is it alive?" Thomas nodded. "We're not sure. It seems to be a form of silicon-based life, unlike anything we've encountered before. It was discovered near the northern ridge by one of our exploration drones." Elysia approached the containment field, her mind racing with possibilities. "Have we tried to communicate with it? We've sent out various signals, but so far no response. However, it does seem to react to certain frequencies of light." As she examined the crystalline entity, Elysia felt a shiver of anticipation. This discovery could be the key to unlocking the mysteries of Proxima B, but with it came a sense of foreboding. The unknown always carried risks, and in this unforgiving environment, mistakes could be fatal. Over the next few weeks, the team worked tirelessly to study the entity. Elysia spent countless hours in the lab, her fascination growing with each passing day. The crystal exhibited properties that defied conventional understanding, absorbing and refracting light in ways that suggested a form of rudimentary intelligence. One evening, as she was poring over data, a soft hum filled the room. She looked up to see the crystal glowing more brightly than ever before. A pattern of lights danced across its surface, coalescing into what seemed like a coherent structure. Her heart pounded with excitement. "Thomas, get in here." As the team gathered around, the crystal's light show became more intense. It was as if it was trying to communicate, to bridge the gap between their worlds. Elysia's fingers flew over the console, adjusting the frequency of the energy field. Suddenly, the lights coalesced into a holographic projection, an image of a landscape that was unmistakably alien yet hauntingly beautiful. The projection showed towering crystalline spires, shimmering lakes of liquid diamond, and creatures that defied description, their forms shifting and morphing in a dance of light and color. The scene was both mesmerizing and disconcerting, a glimpse into a world that seemed to exist beyond the veil of human comprehension. Elysia's breath caught in her throat. This is incredible. It's a window into their world. The projection shifted, focusing on a central spire. At its base, a group of crystalline beings gathered, their bodies pulsating with a synchronized rhythm. It was a communal act, a form of communication that transcended language. Elysia felt a profound sense of connection, as if the crystal was inviting them to understand its culture, its way of life. But as the days turned into weeks, the initial excitement gave way to unease. The crystal's projections began to change, showing images of conflict and destruction. The serene landscapes were replaced by scenes of chaos, as if the crystal's world was being torn apart by some unseen force. Elysia's concern grew. We need to understand what it's trying to tell us. There could be a threat we're not aware of. Thomas nodded, his expression grim. I've been working on deciphering the patterns in the projections. It seems to be a warning, but I can't make out the specifics. As the team delved deeper into the crystal's messages, they began to piece together a narrative. The crystalline beings were under threat from a force that sought to consume and corrupt their world. The projections showed their desperate struggle to survive, their attempts to reach out to other worlds for help. Elysia's mind raced with the implications. If they're reaching out to us, it means they believe we can help. But how? The answer came in the form of a distress signal picked up by one of their satellites. It was faint, barely discernible, but it was unmistakably of alien origin. The signal contained coordinates pointing to a location deep within the uncharted northern region of Proxima B. The Colony Council convened an emergency meeting. Governor Harris, a pragmatic and cautious leader, listened intently as Elysia and Thomas presented their findings. We can't ignore this, Elysia urged. If there's even a chance we can help them, we have to try. Harris nodded slowly. I agree. But we need to proceed with caution. We don't know what we're dealing with. A team was assembled, comprising scientists, engineers, and security personnel. They set out in a convoy of all-terrain vehicles, equipped with the latest technology to navigate the treacherous landscape. As they approached the coordinates, the terrain grew increasingly hostile, with jagged rock formations and unpredictable weather patterns. Elysia felt a sense of foreboding as they neared their destination. The area was eerily silent, the usual sounds of the alien wildlife conspicuously absent. They came to a stop at the base of a massive crystalline structure, its surface scarred and pitted as if from some great battle. As they explored the structure, they discovered evidence of the crystalline being's presence. The walls were etched with intricate patterns, telling the story of their civilization and its struggles. But the further they ventured, the more apparent it became that something terrible had befallen this place. In the heart of the structure, they found the source of the distress signal. A dying crystalline being lay in a chamber, its light dim and flickering. Elysia approached cautiously, her heart heavy with empathy. We're here to help, she said softly, not knowing if it could understand her. To her surprise, the being responded, its light pulsing weakly in a pattern that matched the projections they had seen. It was a final plea for help, a last attempt to save its kind from extinction. Elysia felt a profound sense of urgency. We need to get it back to the colony. Maybe we can stabilize it, find a way to communicate more effectively. The journey back was fraught with tension, but they managed to transport the being safely to the lab. There, they worked tirelessly to stabilize it, using the knowledge they had gleaned from their studies. Slowly, the being's light grew stronger, and its communication more coherent. Through a combination of technology and intuition, they began to understand the full scope of the threat. A parasitic entity, a malevolent force of pure energy, had invaded the crystalline being's world, consuming their life force and spreading like a cancer. The projections they had seen were not just warnings, but a cry for help from a dying race. Elysia knew they had to act quickly. We need to find a way to neutralize this entity, to stop it from spreading further. If it reaches our colony, it could spell the end for us as well. The team worked around the clock, using their combined expertise to develop a plan. They fashioned a device that could generate a counter-frequency, disrupting the parasitic entity's energy patterns. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. With the crystalline being's guidance, they returned to the northern region, the device in tow. The atmosphere was tense, the weight of their mission pressing heavily on them. They reached the heart of the structure, where the parasitic entity had taken hold. As they activated the device, a surge of energy filled the chamber. The entity writhed and pulsed, its form destabilizing. The crystalline being, now fully recovered, joined its energy with the device, amplifying the counter-frequency. Slowly, the parasitic presence began to dissipate, its grip weakening. Elysia watched in awe as the crystalline landscape began to heal, the being's light growing brighter. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of cooperation and resilience. The colony had not only survived but had forged an unbreakable bond with an alien race. As they returned to the colony, Elysia felt a profound sense of fulfillment. They had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, not just for themselves but for an entire world. The last colony on Proxima B had become a beacon of hope, a testament to humanity's enduring spirit and capacity for compassion. And thus begins the tale of the last colony. Continue crafting the story, ensuring it reaches a depth of 7,000 words with further development of characters, world building, and plot intricacies, while maintaining the thematic and stylistic guidelines. Elysia stood on the observation deck, the settlement's central dome now a symbol of their shared triumph. The crystalline being they had saved, whom they now called Prism, had become an integral part of their community. Its presence was a constant reminder of the fragile yet resilient bond between their worlds. The colony thrived, its inhabitants adapting to the challenges of Proxima B with a renewed sense of purpose. Yet, Elysia couldn't shake the feeling that their work was far from over. The parasitic entity might have been neutralized, but the underlying threat remained. They needed to understand it fully, to ensure it could never return. Prism, now a trusted advisor and friend, spent countless hours with Elysia and her team, sharing knowledge of its world and the entity that had nearly destroyed it. Through these sessions, they learned that the entity was a remnant of an ancient cosmic force, a malevolent energy that had drifted through the universe for eons, seeking out life to consume and corrupt. Elysia's mind buzzed with possibilities. If they could study this entity further, perhaps they could uncover a way to eradicate it entirely, not just from Proxima B, but from any world it threatened. She proposed an expedition to the Colony Council, a bold venture to the heart of the entity's origin. Governor Harris, ever the cautious leader, listened intently. "Are you certain this is the right course of action, Elysia? We've only just stabilized our colony. Another expedition could put everything at risk." Elysia's determination was unwavering. "Governor, if we don't take this opportunity, we could be leaving countless other civilizations vulnerable. We have the knowledge and the means to make a difference. We can't let fear hold us back." After much deliberation, the council approved the expedition. A team was assembled, comprising the colony's best and brightest, including Tomas and Prism. They set out in a modified starship, equipped with advanced technology and a sense of purpose that transcended their individual lives. The journey took them deep into uncharted space, following the faint traces of the entity's energy signature. The further they ventured, the more the universe seemed to darken, as if they were descending into the very heart of cosmic despair. Elysia spent her days poring over data, her nights filled with restless dreams of shadowy figures and whispers of forgotten horrors. The weight of their mission pressed heavily on her, but she drew strength from her comrades and their shared resolve. One day, as they neared their destination, the ship's sensors picked up a massive structure hidden in the void. It was a derelict space station, ancient and foreboding, its surface scarred by millennia of cosmic debris. The energy readings were off the charts, confirming their worst fears. This was the source of the entity. They docked cautiously, their weapons at the ready. The air inside the station was thick with a palpable sense of dread. Shadows seemed to shift and whisper, and the walls pulsed with a faint, sickly glow. As they moved through the corridors, they encountered remnants of a long-dead civilization, their skeletal forms twisted in agony. Prism led them to the station's core, a vast chamber filled with machinery that hummed with malevolent energy. At the center was a containment field, within which the entity roiled and pulsed, a swirling mass of darkness that seemed to suck the very light from the room. Elysia's breath caught in her throat. "This is it. This is what we've been searching for." Thomas set up their equipment, calibrating the devices to emit the counter frequency they had used before. But this time, the entity fought back, its energy surging against their efforts. The room shook, and the containment field flickered ominously. Prism extended its energy, merging with the devices, amplifying their power. Elysia and her team held their ground, their resolve unshaken. Slowly, the entity's resistance weakened, its form destabilizing. But just as they thought victory was within reach, a new surge of energy erupted from the core, knocking them back. Elysia scrambled to her feet, her mind racing. "We need more power. Tomas, can we reroute the ship's energy into the device?" Thomas nodded, his face set with determination. "It's risky, but it's our only shot." They worked feverishly, connecting the ship's power grid to the device. The lights dimmed, and the hum of the machinery grew louder. As they activated the device once more, a blinding light filled the chamber, and the entity let out a deafening roar. The counter frequency intensified, and the entity began to disintegrate, its form unraveling into nothingness. The chamber shuddered, and for a moment it seemed as if the entire station would collapse. But then, with a final pulse of energy, the entity was gone. The silence that followed was deafening. Elysia's heart pounded in her chest as she looked around at her team, their faces a mix of exhaustion and triumph. Prism's light shone brightly, a beacon of hope in the darkness. As they made their way back to the ship, Elysia felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, not just for themselves but for every civilization that might have fallen prey to the entity. Their journey back to Proxima B was filled with reflection and quiet celebration, their bonds strengthened by the trials they had overcome. Upon their return, the colony greeted them as heroes. Governor Harris, with a rare smile, acknowledged their bravery and the significance of their mission. "You have not only ensured our survival but have safeguarded countless others. Your courage and determination are an inspiration to us all." Elysia stood on the observation deck once more, the settlement bustling with life and hope. The twin suns cast their perpetual twilight over the landscape, a reminder of the beauty and mystery of the universe. She knew their work was far from over, but for now they could bask in the glow of their achievement. Prism stood beside her, its light reflecting the promise of a brighter future. "We have much to learn from each other, Elysia. Our journey has only just begun." Elysia smiled, her heart filled with a sense of purpose. "Yes, Prism. Together we will face whatever challenges lie ahead. For the last colony on Proxima B, and for all who seek to explore the stars." With each passing day, the bond between the humans and the crystalline beings grew stronger. They shared knowledge and culture, building a future that honored both their worlds. The colony thrived, a beacon of hope and resilience in the vast expanse of space. Elysia knew that they had created something truly remarkable, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity and the power of unity. As she looked out at the horizon, she felt a sense of peace and anticipation. The universe was vast and filled with wonders, and they were ready to explore it together. And so, the story of the last colony on Proxima B continued, a tale of survival, discovery, and the unbreakable bonds that unite all sentient beings. The journey was far from over, but Elysia and her comrades faced the future with courage and hope, ready to write the next chapter of their extraordinary adventure.